In this video, we're going to quickly look at some of the features in Word which we can use to change the look of one of our documents. So we're going to start off with looking at the layout of the document. We can change our layout between portrait and landscape. In this particular example, we want to keep it in portrait. That's one of a kind of vertical page like this, but just to illustrate the difference. If we go to the layout menu and then into orientation, landscape gives us a horizontal across the page, portrait gives us vertical up and down the page like this. And depending what we're printing or what we're making, we may want to have it in this different format. The second thing we want to look at is in this same section of the menu, which is to look at the margins. Now, there's a default margin setting which should print quite well onto A4 paper, but we can change our margins by going to the margins settings here. We can have narrow margins, we can have wide margins, we can have moderate margins, all different margins that Word has pre-programmed that we can choose to use. In this case, we want to use some custom margins. You can actually see that my last custom setting is pre-saved here, but if we didn't have that, we want to do it ourselves. We go into custom margins, we can edit all of the margins here. I want to make my top margin 2 centimeters. I'm going to type 2 in here. My bottom I'll also make 2. Left I'll make 2.5 and right I'll make 2.5 as well. I don't need to type the centimeters, it will automatically put it into centimeters for me. Now press OK and it has made the new margins in place, and this can be for making a document look more presentable. It can be for making something print better, depending on what we've laid out. The next thing we want to look at here is our footer. Now, there's 2 ways to insert a footer. I'm sure Microsoft there's more than 2 ways. The correct way, if you like, is to go to Insert and then go to the Footer tool here and then go to Edit Footer. The way I prefer to do it is to go to the bottom of the page and double click because it takes me into the Footer tool. What we want to have here is a page number in the format page 1 of however many pages. We want to have our document name and we want to have today's date as well. First of all, I'm going to go into page number 2 here up on the left hand corner. I'm going to go to bottom of page and you can see we have an individual number here or a number and the word page. If I keep going down, I can get to a section that's called page X of Y, and that's where I can select page 1 of 1. And I want to have it on the left hand side here, so I'm going to select this one here. I'm just going to click my cursor to the right of the page 1 of 1 and press the tab key on my keyboard. In the middle, I'd like to put my document name. So if I click on this document info again up in this top bar here, and go down to file name, it will pull the current file name. It actually will update if I change my file name, but I do have to go back into Footer and then right click on it and click update. So for now, we'll leave it as it is, but it can be updated. I'll press tab one more time. I'm going to go into date and time. I'm clicking here, rather than having a drop down, I've got a pop-up box and I can pick whether I want the date, the time, date and the time, and all the different file formats that I can have. But I'm just going to go with date day/month/year and select the first one and click OK there. And there we have it. We've got our footer inserted in our page as well. If we want to change all of our text at one time, then there's a quick way to do it. We can go to our document. We'll exit the footer. You can exit the footer either by pressing the close header and footer button at the top there, or just double clicking back in your main document. We can see that our text is currently in the Calibri font. I could click and select and highlight it all if I want to change it. If I want to do it all in one go, I can press Ctrl and A together to select all text, and then say I want to change it to Arial. I can select the drop down there and select Arial. I've got the font all changed in one go. There's one more thing I'd like to do with the formatting of this document just now before I finish up. Well, in fact, I'll do 2 more things. One, I'm going to change the size of all of my text. So again, I'll select it all. I'm going to change it to size 12. And I'm going to take my heading and change that to size 14. So I just changed everything to 12 and selected the heading individually. There's one more thing I'd like to do before we finish up, which is I want to select all my text again. And I want to make it look more presentable. Up in this, where I've got my mouse just now, in the paragraph section, you can choose to have your text aligned to the left, the centre, or to the right, or what's called fully justified or justify. I can either press this button here, or I can press Control and J together. It has the same effect, and it does this. And you'll notice that down the right-hand side of my page, it's spaced out all the text neatly, so everything's nicely lined up. So these few formatting options can make a huge difference to the presentation of our Word documents, and were useful in the task that we're going to do in class.